It's Hey everyone, we're letting everyone in, and we are also preparing to go live on Facebook.
You ready, Sam, or you need more time?
One more minute, then we can go ahead and start. Leah, it's all yours. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was muted.
All righty, no problem. Thank you. And good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay, great. Good evening, everybody. I am Leah LaRue with the Department of City Planning at the City of Atlanta. And I'm joined tonight by some of my amazing colleagues, Samantha Terry, who is the Program Manager for Education and Training.
Good evening, everyone. Everyone looks great.
Well, thank you. Tony McNeil is our Program Manager for Outreach and Engagement. Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here with you.
And awareness, all that stuff. Anybody else from our team, Sam? Kip is here? I'm sorry, I can't see on this screen, but in any case, yeah, I don't see Kip, but you said Kip is here, Sam? No, okay, so I've introduced our team. Thank you all. If I missed anybody, I just can't tell with all the squares, but if I missed anyone from my team, very glad to have you, of course, goes without saying. Thank you for being here. So welcome to NPU University's Community Development 1001, Jobs and Careers in Your Community. And this course is really, as I understood, I missed the one that we did last year, but I heard really good feedback about the class. So we're excited to produce this class once again. Hopefully you will leave the class having learned quite a bit about Atlanta's workforce development agency, which is WorkSource Atlanta. And the good folks from WorkSource Atlanta will be your instructors tonight. They will be teaching you all about the programs that they offer to the community and all the benefits of those programs, et cetera. So we'll introduce them shortly, but for now, I think Sam is on the phone. Can you go to the next slide for me, please? Thank you. All right, for now, let's get into our rules of engagement here. We do ask that you keep your microphone muted at all times. This helps us cut back on feedback and other background noise that you may not realize the camera will pick up. I'm sorry, the microphone will pick up. So please do keep your microphones muted at all times. Please keep your cameras turned on in order to receive course credit. If you are taking this class as part of the Citizen Planner Certificate Program, you will need to have your camera turned on for sure. If not, you don't necessarily have to, but we do prefer for cameras to be on. It just makes for better engagement and it simulates the classroom environment much better. If you have a question, to ask that question during Q&A, please raise your hand to get in the queue, and I'll show you how to do that momentarily. Excuse me. This is, by the way, a good time to grab a notebook and piece of paper, something to write on, something to write with. If you'd like to take notes while I'm rambling about classroom rules and all the intro stuff, this is a really good time to grab your notebook and grab your pen if you need to. Last rule, which is our golden rule. All questions must be relevant to course content. Please do not take this time to ask questions that have been burning in your mind for a long time that are not in any way related to workforce development or not in any way related to the instruction tonight. If you have gripes, concerns, venting, anything like that, we are more than happy to hear that, but not in this setting because it obviously holds up the rest of the class who came here to learn about workforce development in their community. So please do, if you have those kinds of unrelated questions or concerns or problems or complaints or anything along those lines, please just email us separately or give us a call and we'll do our very best to help you. In the meantime, reserve this session for your questions that are related to the instruction tonight. If you'd like to raise your hand to ask a question, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a button that says reactions. I do know that not everyone has the most recent version of Zoom, so it's possible that you won't see it at the bottom of your screen, but you can play around with it a little bit until you find it. For those of us that have an updated version of Zoom, look at the bottom of your screen. You'll see where it says reactions. If you click on reactions, you will then see a pop-up box. And on the bottom of that pop-up box is a button that says raise hand. And there's a little yellow hand that is raised like this. That's what you'll click in order to raise your hand. If you've never done it before, you're not sure you'll be able to do it, or you haven't done it in a while, you can feel free to play with it right now. But you'll again click on reactions and then the raise hand button. And I think that is it. Welcome to NPU University. We're really, really glad to have you here. It says a lot that you would join us at the end of the day after a long day at work or a long day doing whatever you've done today. I'm appreciative that you're here and I hope that you learn everything that you hoped to learn tonight. I will let Samantha introduce our instructors, and just one last time, please remember to keep your mics muted unless you've been called on to ask a question, and please make sure that all your questions are limited to course content only. Thank you so much. Sam?
Good evening, everyone, and thanks again for joining us tonight. Our instructors are from the wonderful WorkSource Atlanta, specifically under the WorkSource Georgia umbrella. We have Rossell Hall, who is the Business Services Manager. We have Mrs. Sarita Shackelford-Smith, who is with Equus Works Solutions as a manager, and then Dr. Stephen Lee, who is the Community Outreach Manager at WorkSource Atlanta. Is Ms. Sonia on, Rossell?
Yes, she is on.
Hello.
And we do have one more. We have Miss Glenda Allen as well. She's our youth manager for Equus Works as well. But yes, Miss Sonia's on.
Okay, well, Ms. Sonia, Moreland, thank you for joining us as well. And if you want to say a few things on behalf of WorkSource.
We just would like to, well, on behalf of Amy Lancaster King, who is our executive director, we'd like to thank all of you for joining us today as we share the information about WorkSource Atlanta. So thank you so very much and enjoy.
All right, Rossell, it's on you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And I will share my screen here and we will get started. And just wanted to make sure if everyone can see my screen, Miss Samantha, if I can just get a thumbs up. Perfect. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Russell Hall, Business Services Manager for WorkSource Atlanta. And on behalf of Ms. Amy Lancaster King and Ms. Sonia Wilson Westmoreland and the rest of our staff, we thank you for this opportunity to share with the NPUs and the citizens of Atlanta about the great work that we're doing here at WorkSource Atlanta. So WorkSource Atlanta, or you may have known it by a previous name, AWDA, Atlanta Workforce Development Agency. We provide some really great services. Unfortunately, I think that may fly under the radar, but hopefully today that you can hear some things, some services and some resources that are available for those that live, work in the city of Atlanta. So with that being said, we're going to move forward here and kind of talk about some of the services and resources that we have. Now with that, we are part of a grant called WIOA, which stands for the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. Now this is something that has been around since post-World War II, started with the Manpower Act back in the 1960s, and it has many iterations. For me, as a 40-year-old, I used this as JTPA once upon a time. It was one of those things where I could get a summer job. So again, it's gone through many iterations, but the latest one is called WIOA, which is a Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And this was started back in 2014. And with that, it provides funds to address the employment and training needs of dislocated workers, low-income adults, and youth to help them get where they need to go in terms of career pathing and finding sustainable work. Now, who does WIOA or WIOA serve? Who do we serve as WorkSource Development? We serve youth. So we have what we call out-of-school youth, those that are 16 to 24 that have barriers to employment, those that may have been pregnant as a teen or homeless. They're not attending school and they need to earn their GED or high school diploma. We can certainly help with that. We also serve in-school youth. Those are students that are attending school ages 14 to 21. They still have some barriers to employment. They may be low income. So for those that may be receiving school lunch, things like that, those that are 14 to 21, so even in high school, all throughout college, they may be able to qualify for our services. We have adults, so we service adults, those that are 18 and older that are authorized to work in the U.S. and registered for selective service if you're a male, and that's unemployed or underemployed. And then, of course, we have what we call the dislocated worker, and those are individuals that have been laid off. Again, so if your plant closed or you've been laid off of one of your tech jobs, you can potentially qualify for WorkSource services. So what do we offer at WorkSource Atlanta? Again, with the adult and dislocated worker, we have counseling and mentoring and career pathing. So if you've been laid off or you have been working a job, a dead-end job, and you feel like you've kind of come to your wits' end and you need something to think about in terms of what is my next move or my next step, we can help with those things. Internships or work experience. One of the things that when I talk to clients, I talk to them about what they like, and obviously we talk to them about what they may not like. So one good way to do that is through internships and work experience to find those things that you really have a passion for in career pathing that way. We also work with community partners in terms of financial literacy. We work with our vendors such as Atlanta Tech and Atlanta Public Schools for opportunities with education. And then, of course, we offer apprenticeships. We have a plethora of registered apprenticeships with the USDOL. And then with our youth services, we have tutoring, alternative secondary school in terms of the GED programs that we have in-house. We have paid and unpaid work experience, and then some of those occupational skills trainings through our ITAs that we have as well. So again, I'm going to pass it on right now to Ms. Glenda, if you are ready to talk about our youth program. Ms. Glenda?
Well, good afternoon or evening, everyone. My name is Glenda Allen, the Youth Program Manager that service our youth, the ones that are in school. We service those that are 16 to 24 in school and out of school youth. And the services that we provide complete GEDs for those that are in need of a GED. We also provide the paid work experience for those that are looking to get some work experience under their belts in their career path. And we also provide short-term training programs with the multiple workshops that we also provide. So we definitely want to work to provide the services to so that our youth can gain that. I'm sorry, you guys, so that our youth can gain that gain that wraparound services.
All right, thank you, Ms. Glenda. And then if you can see here on the screen, if you're interested or know someone that's interested in our youth services, we have this enrollment process here to complete the interview and the sustainability application. You would need to have some documents in terms of your high school diploma or not, GED, those type of things. You would need to submit those required documents, birth certificate, those things. Complete the TABE test assessment. Those things may or may not be required now, just depending on how far along you are. And Ms. Glenda can kind of speak to those sort of things, and then of course get enrolled and then speak with a case manager. So those are just some of the things that we offer in terms of our out of school youth. And then if those are interested, we're going to have a question and answer afterwards to talk a little bit more specifically about how those individuals can get enrolled in our program. All right. So in terms of adults and dislocated workers, these are kind of the four things that we work with and that we provide for our customers. We provide employment assistance, we provide training services, we provide earn and learn opportunities, and what we call partner services or one-stop services. Employment assistance, we do have partnership with actually formerly the Georgia Department of Labor, but now TCSG, where they have representatives on site 5 days a week to help with what we call standard or basic career services. So we have our resource room that's open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30, where you have access to computers. So if you want to fill out job applications, if you're looking to print out your resume, use the scanner to upload documents for school or for our applications for our services, you are more than free to do that, more than welcome to do that free of charge. We do have partnerships with some of our community partners, and we have workshops in terms of resume writing, interviewing skills. I know our Equus partners will be holding some of those webinars and workshops in the near future. We have job search resources. I myself, as the business services manager, we will help you with that, along with our partners at TCSG and GDOL. Skill and interest assessments. There's one that I like to talk about. It's called My Next Move. So for those who, again, that are, working maybe a job that you don't like, or looking to get into a career path such as maybe healthcare or IT, this could be a good way to find out what you like or what you don't like. It's basically a assessment to find out what things that you have a passion for, that you have skills for. And then we have on-site recruitment events. Every second Wednesday of the month, we will have a job fair right here in our building. And then Dr. Lee is going to talk to you about some of our community outreach efforts in terms of going out to council members' districts, in terms of holding job fairs and resource fairs. And then, of course, access to partner services, those community partners, those wraparound services that we talk about. We do have what we call customized services as well. Now, those customized services, you would have to meet our eligibility requirements. Ms. Sarita is going to talk about those eligibility requirements in a few slides down, but we can help with personalized resume review and mock interviews. So we help with job placement in terms of work experience and some direct hire opportunities as well. So those are some of the things that we have available for you in terms of our customized employment assistance. Again, eligibility requirements would be needed for those. In terms of training services, this is where an individual can earn a credential, whether it's a certification, a license, or a degree. in what we call in-demand or high-demand occupations. Those are advanced manufacturing, healthcare, information technology, IT, skilled trades, and then transportation, distribution, and logistics. So for example, with this, for if you wanted to get into healthcare and wanted to get into medical billing and coding, you can receive funding from WorkSource Atlanta if you are eligible to receive that training. Or, hey, I want to drive trucks professionally. I want to earn my CDL. We can help with that. If you want to go along the skilled trades route in terms of maybe HVAC or plumbing or welding, we can help with that. And then, of course, the wave of the future, IT or information technology, coding, network security. These are some of the more popular skills and trades that we can help provide funding for if you qualify. So again, with that, WIOA, that grant is from the United States Department of Labor. And with that, we have to ensure that we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's in terms of the application and how it's used to ensure that we are in a good spot and that you get the money that you need to get those trainings. WIOA funds are intended for programs that are 2 years or less, so it is for short-term training, occupational specific in those high demand areas. Again, the healthcares, the IT, the skilled trades. And then of course, the program is based on most in need relative to our funding availability. Right now, it's kind of in the middle of the program year. So we do have some funds available. So we encourage those to apply. So how much do you receive for that funding for training? You can receive up to $7,000 for a program that's 12 months or less. Again, up to $7,000 for a program that's 12 months or less. And then you can receive up to $10,000 for a program that's over a year, but less than 2 years. So within that 24-month time frame. So again, most of those programs that are 12 months or less typically fall below the $7,000 price range. So in most cases, I can't say all, but in a lot of cases, you may not have to come out of pocket if you qualify for services. For example, some of our CDL programs may come in that $5,000 to $6,000 range. So again, if it falls under that $7,000 price tag, then that would be covered. Anything over that amount, then the participant would be responsible for that. Now, with that, if it does fall under that 7,000 mark, we do not give out those additional monies for participant. That kind of goes back into the bucket to help someone else within that. And of course, these training funds can cover obviously tuition and fees, can cover books, in certain instances cover those certifications and exams, and then part of our wraparound services or supportive services, they can cover uniforms, they can cover maybe computers if it's lumped in there. So those types of things you would have to speak with your advisor specifically about to get those what we call supportive services. But again, some of those things such as uniforms, certification exams, books, and tuition fees would be covered with that. Like anything, obviously, this is a federal program, so there are some restrictions with it. So again, one of the major restrictions is the program cannot exceed 2 years. WIOA would not pay for any prerequisite or developmental courses. Again, that would be on the participant for that. Fully online courses, we would have to talk with Ms. Sarita about that. Obviously, with the way COVID has impacted our daily lives, some of those things have changed. One of the big things that WIOA does not cover, now this is according to USDOL, these are not considered in-demand or high-demand occupations. Those that are commission-based careers, such as your real estate, your barbering, cosmetology, and massage therapy. It would not cover for those. And then your short-term and exam prep courses, such as your project management or Lean Six Sigma, they are covered, but you would have to show extensive work experience, and that's done on a case-by-case basis. So again, these are some of the restrictions that we have with the funding as it relates to some of our commission-based, and then of course, some of those project management, Lean Six Sigma, SHRM types of training. And then we also have earn and learn. And these are for individuals that say, hey, you know, I do have a lot of experience. I want to try to move forward with that in terms of learning while on the job. I don't necessarily want to go to your standard class and earn another credential or a certification. I want to work. So we do have some services and offerings such as on-the-job training, apprenticeships, internships, and work experience. With on-the-job training, this is an opportunity for a participant to be hired on by a company, and WorkSource Atlanta can cover that salary, that person's salary up to 50% for up to 6 months. So this is a good opportunity for that participant to get on-the-job experience, and it's a good opportunity for some company or some businesses to kind of help offset those costs while they are training that employee. Obviously, apprenticeships we have with the U.S. Department of Labor. And then one thing that we have is what we call work experience or work-based learning opportunities. This is where you create a work-based learning plan with a business or nonprofit, and WorkSource would pay your salary for up to 12 weeks while you are learning on the job. Now, after that 12-week internship is up, if there's a possibility or an opportunity for you to be hired on with that company or with that business, you've given them 12 weeks in terms of interviewing and prep and know-how to move forward in that role. Now, unfortunately, it is not required from the business to hire you, but again, you have that 12 weeks to show, you know, what you can do within that role, and WorkSource would cover up to 40 hours a week for 12 weeks. Now, we also have partnerships, what we call one-stop partners. And these partners kind of offer those additional services that WorkSource or WEO may not necessarily happen to have available for you, such as SNAP benefits or unemployment insurance or veteran services or services for individuals with disabilities, and of course our GED prep. So we have those services available for you via referral. And these are our specific one-stop partners here, your Georgia Department of Labor, Atlanta Public Schools, specifically with their adult education program. And we actually have GED teachers right here at 818 Pollard. So if you're interested in obtaining your GED, you can come to our very building and you can have those GED classes right here in real time. Atlanta Technical College, they are one of our one-stop partners. Fulton Atlanta Community Action Authority, they provide services such as LAHEAP for those that need some assistance with heating during the winter months. Job Corps for those who would like to go to Job Corps. Turner Job Corps is one of our closest ones here in the state of Georgia. And then with AARP Foundation, we have what we call the CSEP program, or the Senior Community Employment Program. And these are for seniors that may want to get out of the house and have a little bit of have a part-time job, something to do a few days a week. They are opportunities there for you to kind of earn while you learn. We actually have 2 CSEP participants working in our resource library, and we've had the fortunate event to have some of those past CSEP employees, or interns, I should say, be hired on by companies and given kind of that second act, if you will, being an AARP intern. For those who would like to have more information about some of our community or one-stop partners, Dr. Vernon Johnson is our one-stop manager, and we've included his email below. So again, if you need some additional support in getting a referral to one of these agencies, Dr. Johnson is available to help you with that. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Stephen Lee. He is our community outreach coordinator, and he's going to talk to you about some of the great things that WSA has done in the community over the past few weeks, past few months. Dr. Lee.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for participating in this wonderful program. In regards to the community outreach programs, we are working really hard this year to bring all the resources and services from WorkSource into the community. So far, we have done about five events this year. We've been with the mayor as he's participated and announced the new job development program and the job employment program that he's offering in the city. We are partnering with Atlanta Technical College, where we are setting up locations on their campus in order to bring the resources directly to the students. It is my director's mission this year is to bring the resources directly to the community. Instead of waiting on them to come into the office, we're bringing the programs and services directly to them. We are partnering with City Council to bring resources directly into their districts. It's called WorkSource in the Community. And we are in our first one is WorkSource in the Community District 10. That's going to be held on the 15th of February at the C.T. Martin Recreation and Natatorium at 3201 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. The event starts at 11 o'clock and will go from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. We're currently up to about 40 vendors, 40 companies and community partners that will be providing services to the residents and to the community, interviewing and hiring on the spot, resources, bringing in and provide services. So it's our job now to bring in as many people into the program and make it as convenient for those people as possible by bringing it to the individual districts. We'll be having another one in April, and it will be in District 12. And then we will work with other council members to provide these same programs and services in their district so that their community people will be able to experience these services in their communities instead of coming out downtown. We're open to working with any community organization. So we're providing services for all of those. We're working with the apartment complexes and providing services to the residents of the apartment complexes, working with the schools to get the young people registered for our summer job programs that we'll be having. And we're looking forward to having a very banner year this year, providing community resources for the community. You definitely can reach out to us here at WorkSource if there's any events or any programs that you're trying to get us involved in and want us to participate in. We definitely would like to hear from you. My phone number is 404-546-3027. Again, that number is 404-546-3027. And my email address is S as in Sam, D as in David, Lee, L-E-E, at atlantagA.gov. Thank you very much. Mr. Hall.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Lee, for that. Again, Dr. Lee is well connected in the community, and he is doing some really, really great things in terms of community outreach and engaging with our community partners. Next up, we're going to talk about kind of the roadmap in terms of how to get started. Again, hopefully everyone is that's on the call right now lives in the city of Atlanta proper. I know obviously we say Atlanta and we talk about that, whether it's Metro Atlanta or in this city, but for purposes of kind of WorkSource Atlanta and how we operate things in terms of the USDOL and the grants that we have available, this particular funding is subject to obviously the residency of being in the city of Atlanta. Now, for those of you that have jumped on the call and may live in South Fulton or College Park or East Point, just want to kind of get an idea of what we have available. There is a WorkSource where you live. There are 19 workforce development boards or areas within this state. So again, WorkSource Georgia is the big umbrella. So there's a WorkSource where you live. This one is specific to the citizens or the residents of Atlanta. If you live in College Park, East Point, Union City, somewhere outside of the city, you can always give us a call and we can direct you to your appropriate WorkSource, whether it's WorkSource Fulton, WorkSource Cobb, DeKalb, WorkSource Atlanta Regional that covers kind of the Metro Atlanta County. So we all do similar things in terms of your training, your job search assistance, your earn and learn. But again, our specific detail is for the citizens of Atlanta. And right now I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Sarita. She is our EQUIS adult and dislocated manager to talk to you the first kind of few steps on how to start that application process and what it looks like once you become a participant in terms of suitability and how to get that ITA or that earn and learn and the follow-up. So Ms. Sarita, I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. I want to share some information on how to become eligible. That is the main focus. But as Mr. Hall would say, our secret sauce is if you call WorkSource Atlanta or we meet you at one of our events, we're going to get your name, your number, your email, where you live to direct you to your appropriate WorkSource board. We never want to say to anyone that, oh, we can't help you. We want to make sure that we send that email as quickly as we can to your appropriate WorkSource board. So we determine whether you're an adult or a dislocated worker. An adult is someone that has worked 6 months and they meet the income guideline. If you haven't worked in 6 months, you'll attest to that. No, I haven't worked in 6 months, or I've been laid off, or life has happened. If you're on public assistance or you live in Atlanta Housing Authority or get subsidized housing, we'll look at that for your eligibility criteria. We want to make sure that we are serving all our customers. If you are homeless, our first thing is going to do to get you some referrals to a shelter or to an entity that will help you with your situation. Dislocated is someone who has been laid off due to no fault of your own, or you are coming from the military, or you're a displaced homemaker, or something has happened and your business did not flourish. That is a dislocated worker. And what we wanted you to do is gather all your documents. Before we can go any further, we have to upload our documents. And you complete all your document requirements in the WorkSource Georgia portal. We're going to guide you because we meet people on campuses at Atlanta Tech, Westside Works, or you can come here to our facility so we can help you to start that process. We're always giving our emails out and our telephones to text you the right information. So as you become available, Mr. Hall mentioned that we're the region. So the region has one process to eligibility, and this is it. The pathway. So if you go to Cobb, if you go to South Fulton, North Fulton, Gwinnett, DeKalb, we're still on the WIOA SCIM process to eligibility. When you're deemed eligible, you'll go to a mandatory online orientation. Following orientation, you'll be assigned a case manager, and that case manager is going to guide you through your process, whether it's earn and learn, whether it's choosing a provider, whether it's intensive job search. We want to make sure that you're ready for your next career path. And when we finish all of that, either you're going to do one of those entities, go to training, CDL, transportation, logistics, healthcare, IT, or choose a career path. If you want to get a stackable credential, say you're a CNA and you want to take the next step, we're going to assist you in taking your next step to greatness. And we follow this path, step 7, 8, 9, we're going to continue on. When you finish, whether you're earn and learn or gain employment or training, we're going to follow you for 12 months to try to help you sustain. And what we want you to, if you're coming here making $12.50, when we finish and separate you from WorkSource services, we want you to be making double that. So that is always our goal. And we're always here to provide assistance. I can always be reached at 404-939-0827. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Sarita, for that. Now, again, we talked a lot about what we do for, our job seekers, but we also have, again, services for our business and employers as well. And a few of those services would be, again, I talked a little bit about the on-the-job training. So as a business, this could be a good way to help kind of offset some costs if you were to hire one of our participants and go through our on-the-job training. That's where WorkSource Atlanta can cover up to 50% of that person's wages for up to 6 months. So again, that is one of the business services that we have. Another one that we have is called incumbent worker training. And this, in many cases, to kind of avert layoffs. So if your business needs are training and you need to upskill some of your workers, this could be a good way for you to upskill those workers through what we call the paid classroom training and those on-the-job training. So again, we're working with an employer right now in advanced manufacturing that's helping to upskill some of their workers to help avoid layoffs, to give them skills that make them more marketable and more trainable in terms of other jobs within their company. And then of course the work experience as well. Now with work experience, we have to be careful because we can't use this particular program as free labor. This is a work-based training opportunity. So this is work-based learning. So the opportunity for someone to come in and learn from you in terms of internship, in terms of work experience, this is where WorkSource Atlanta will cover the wages of that participant for up to 40 hours for 12 weeks. Now, once that internship is complete, if you feel like they've met all the requirements and that's someone that you can bring on as an employer, we encourage you to do so. Again, there's been a lot of success stories from individuals that have worked, that use work experience as a participant, and now they were hired on by that company. One of those companies would be the city of Atlanta in one of our city departments. That's happened. I did see in the chat, and we're getting some of those things, working with those that are just as involved. And I know I'm not sure Miss Sarita's still on mute or not, but I can tell the story about a young man came in that was just as involved, wanted to get his CDL license. We ensured that he was able to get that CDL license, and now he's a business owner. And now he's coming back to WorkSource to help some of those individuals that are just as involved like he was once upon a time, in terms of helping them with employment opportunities. So again, this is some of those good news stories that's out there, and that we are helping to provide that service for those individuals in the community. And if I can go to the next slide here. So how do you get started? You can always obviously give us a call at 404-546-3000. You can come to our resource center. Again, we're open from 8:30. The resource center is open from 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. So you can come in, ask questions, speak with Dr. Johnson or someone on his team. We have applications available on hand. If you're not tech savvy, we can help you with the application process. Or you can start by going to atlworks.org. If you're unsure, you can put in your address, and we'll have someone reach out to you about how to start that application process. Or you can actually start the application process online at that website. Again, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you in regards of the services and resources that we have. So please come visit us at 818 Pollard Boulevard, or hopefully we'll see you out in the community. And with that, I will turn it over to Ms. Samantha and open it up for any questions that we may have.
So I do see that we have some questions in the chat, and I'm actually going to have you all ask your questions, as I don't want to send the message out wrong. So let me see here. Mr. Bell, would you like to go ahead and ask your question? And then we're going to take Sagira Jones next.
Are there any outreach programs for the downtown, midtown area where there is substantial unemployment, especially with those who are unhoused? That seems to be their biggest, every time there is a community meeting addressing homelessness, the jobs issue comes up.
Get it. Thank you for asking that question. We are working with the council members for that district. And again, we are bringing the same resources that we are bringing into District 10 on the 15th into each council district. We will be working with them to provide those types of services. We'll bring it with us when we come. As usual, the companies that's doing the hiring, we'll bring our community partners and with resources that will address homelessness, mental health, and different returning citizens. All of those services, that we will bring those with us when we come. So the job fair and resource fair will be coming to that area as soon as we can confirm a date with the council member for that area.
Ms. Sagira?
Thank you.
Evening, thank you. I think it was Mr. Lee mentioned there are some summer youth work programs. What is the minimum age to participate in those?
The minimum age for youth programs for the city of Atlanta, as it was last year, was starting at the age of 14 and going up. So it's from age 14 for WorkSource. Mr. Hall, is it 14 or 16 to 24?
My apologies, I'm on mute. So yeah, it is from ages 14, which we consider our in-school youth, ages 14 to 21, for those that are currently in school, in high school, and college. And then for those out-of-school youth, ages 16 up to age 24. So basically your ages 14 to 24 can take advantage of our youth services, and more specifically with the summer youth employment. Now, I will say this, and Dr. Lee may be able to shed a little bit more light. For those that are 14 and 15, they're more kind of, not necessarily work sites, but more kind of earn and learn, that they had a stipend just because of the ability not to get those work permits. But of course, those that are 16 and up, definitely what I would recommend is working with your school to obtain those work permits as quickly as they possibly can, and not waiting to the end of the school. That way they have a greater opportunity to be on a job site.
April Bankston.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for acknowledging. I think you all have already addressed it in reference to working with the justice involved citizens, if you will, working with parole boards or things, just to make sure that there's an opportunity or a second chance once people have done their the time, if you will, or their opportunities, to make sure that the recidivism is not there because of not having the ability to have a job. So I just wanted to know how you're filling in that gap.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Great question. We are working with Department of Community Supervision for one, the Fatherhood Initiative. We're also working with a nonprofit organization called CEO, which is Center for Employment Opportunities. That organization's focus is specifically on those justice involved and getting those individuals employment. So actually, one of the director was actually a former WorkSource Atlanta employee. So we've had a great working relationship with him and his team in terms of job fairs and finding those employers that are second chance eligible. And we also have a pilot program that we're working with Walmart. Walmart has a second chance program. And again, if you know anyone that's justice involved and that's looking to have employment with Walmart, they have some great benefits, great pay, even within their retail stores or distribution centers. You can reach out to me directly for that information. I'll be more than happy to share it with you or with any community organization that's justice involved. Specifically with Walmart, they do have a great program, and we're kind of in that second phase of that program right now. They may start even an apprentice program with that. So if you need some more additional information, please reach out to me on that one.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions?
I do have a second question. This is April Bankston, if I can ask it now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So I just wanted to ask this question. I know that you have training or at least orientation opportunities during the weekday. I think I heard 8:30 to 4:30, but I'm actually wanting to ask a question in reference to my a family member who's a paraprofessional in the school system who may be looking to change career choices. Do you have any opportunities for Saturdays or sort of non-business hours, if you will?
We do have some community events on Saturdays. In terms of kind of our standard office hours, they are typically Monday through Friday. We have looked at possibly, maybe having some later hours in the future, but right now most of our kind of standard working hours are the Monday through Friday. But we do have quite a few events on Saturdays where we're able to engage with our customers, particularly those are with community partners as well. So we have, Department of Labor or some of our community partners there. So in terms of Monday through Friday, that's the bulk of our time, but we do have some community outreach events on Saturdays.
Okay, thank you very much.
In addition to that, this is Sonia Westmoreland. They could check out atlworks.org, and that will assist them. There's a video, and that will assist them and understand some more about our program as well. And that's atlworks.org.
Yeah, I'm kind of late. I was did y'all touch on budget or partnership?
What's your question?
Asking, did y'all touch on partnership or budgeting for summer work programs?
So more information will be presented within the next couple of weeks regarding the summer youth employment program. We don't have any more additional information as it relates to the budget and things like that. But certainly if you know someone that is interested, they can reach out to Glenda Allen, who did speak about the youth for the WIOA program, and see if they're eligible for our federal program, the services.
Alright, 'cause
Philip Kelly. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you still asking?
Yeah, I was just saying that I have I give out jobs to kids that's underage, so I was trying to see about getting funded.
Contact Rossell, who is our business services manager, and he will see how we can assist. Does that work?
Yes, that's great, Sam.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Philip Kelly.
Yes, thank you. I was just curious, and I'm sorry if I missed the slide. I was wondering the overall big picture. Did you guys have some information to share about the budget for the entire kind of organization or different programs altogether? And then how many people are served through that? If there's like kind of a summary of that. And then just curious, at the beginning talked a lot about the different categories as far as what would make you eligible for services. And just kind of wondering what is maybe the majority as far as the type of client that you serve, or is it pretty even across all those categories that you serve as far as how many people come through for the services?
So that was a couple of questions. So let's start with the first one. What was your first question? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, just the overall summary of the budget for all the programs together, and then comparing that to the number of people served that come through the programs. And I didn't see a slide on that, but maybe I'd missed that. Wondering if you guys have that kind of broad overview.
So in general, overall, we could have a budget between $2 to $3 million a year. And we service, so the number of people that we assist can be between 5,000 to 7,000 a year. However, the number of customers that are enrolled who actually go through the process from start to finish, at any given time, we have between 350 to 500 customers, and that's between the adult dislocated and the youth. You're welcome. And was there another question? Okay.
Mrs. Westmoreland, your mic actually went out a little bit on the second part.
Okay, so you got the dollar amount. So I was indicating that we service between 5,000 to 7,000 during the year, that comes through our career center asking for GED services, resume writing, and things like that. However, it can be between 500 to 700 customers on our caseload that actually goes through the process from start to finish. Did that come through?
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that's good for me. I appreciate that. The only other question I had is just wondering if the type of person that comes in, is it pretty even across all different categories of who you serve? Or do you see the majority of the people coming through for the services that are in, such as an adult dislocated worker?
So each case is different on a case by case basis. So, I mean, I would not say they're all, pretty much the same. Everybody has, they have different barriers. So it just varies on what needs to be addressed and how we can assist them. You have from entry level to blue collar to white collar worker. You have at-risk youth that comes through someone who may be a veteran or a second chance participant, or also English limited language barriers that they may have as well. So I wouldn't lump them all together.
I have a question. This is Carolyn Howard.
Okay, Ms. Howard, let me go right ahead.
Okay, I was wondering, do you have anything for seniors or retired workers or have stopped working that wish to go in a different career field? That's one question. And also the courses that you cover, can it be online degrees that you get online within 2 years?
So,
Is Sarita on?
Ms. Carolyn, I'll answer the first part of that in terms of the employment opportunities or just services for older Americans. We do again work with AARP. We have a partnership with them. It's the CSEP program, so it's called the Senior Community Employment Program, where we have those individuals within AARP work. And actually, we do have some here at WorkSource Atlanta that are interning in our resource center, and they work at different nonprofits or different businesses. They typically work a part-time schedule up to 24 hours a week, but that is a partnership with AARP. I did put my info in the chat, so if you're interested in that, if you want to, shoot me an email or give me a phone call, I can direct you to the AARP representative that handles that. In terms of the second question, in terms of online programming, Ms. Sarita, that was on you.
Ms. Sarita, you're muted.
You just
I
muted.
am. Okay, I just muted myself. I am the queen of mute. We do have program. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. There are programs due to COVID. Most providers did go to online for certain categories of training. So we look at what training that you're looking to go into and start from there. And there are several programs that do online, from some of the Microsoft training to some of the not phlebotomy, but I want to say not patient care tech, but pharmacy training. So a lot of things are online, and we just look at that and counsel you through that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
You're welcome.
Mrs. Cynthia Dunn Duhart?
Yes. Are there any programs available for young people with special needs, disabilities?
Yes, there is. If you're interested in our services, we definitely will assist the youth that has special needs. Would love to assist them.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Martina Gilliam?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Ms. Sarita Smith. When you were just now talking, were you talking about for the seniors?
There are programs. We have programs for anyone that's coming in. She asked a particular question about seniors and online, but we work with Atlanta Technical College, Georgia Piedmont, some private providers to assist you in getting into a training program, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in IT. So whatever program that you're thinking about going to advance you in your career, that's what we're going to do, because it's customer driven and customer based.
Okay. Does it matter if you already have a degree or not, or if you've had like 25 or 30 years experience? Are you retired? Does it matter?
Are you, that's
Is
up
it-
to you how you're changing your career and what we can do to assist that. It's case by case. If you have a degree and say you have a degree and you've been working in HR all of this time, but all of a sudden you have the epiphany to get paid a higher income to
Mhm.
increase your wage earnings, and you want the HR certification, the SHRM, the PMP, that's what we're going to work on.
Okay, so could you put your number back up there? Because I didn't get your number when you gave your number out.
Also, I
you-
will, in the follow-up
Okay.
email that I'll send with the evaluation.
Thank you so
I will
much.
have everyone's
Thank you
contact
very much.
information.
Thank you
You're
very much
welcome.
for answering. Thank you very much.
Ms. Hirona Hosi,
Karana.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I knew you were trying to say my name. I was wondering if you all have programs for adults with special needs. They
Yes,
asked
ma'am.
about the youth.
So yeah, we do. Again, we work with GVRA. So we do try to have, those services through GVRA to help those individuals with special needs.
Thank you.
I don't.
Greetings, this is Nafisa. I have one question. With the Earn and Learn, do you have any IT companies that's signed up?
As of right now, we are working with one. I can't necessarily say it because it's not ready to go right now. But we are looking for some IT companies. So if you know of any, please send them my way. But we do have one in terms of that we're working on for kind of summer employment and for some of those Earn and Learn for adults as well.
Right. So I was thinking, is it possible to set up the IT Earn and Learn with like City of Atlanta or something like that without being a bigger company?
Now, we have done that in the past. So we've worked with our own City of Atlanta information department, so our AIM department, in terms of having internships or Earn and Learn opportunities within the city. So again, that's a possibility for those individuals, whether they're youth or adults. That's something that we're working on, but we're also looking at some bigger companies as well for those Earn and Learn opportunities as well.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else with a question? Okay. Well, with that being said, I would like to thank everyone from WorkSource Atlanta for coming out and teaching this class tonight. It was really awesome. A lot of new information for 2023 for us to look forward to. And thank you so much. If you all would look at your screen, our upcoming NPU University courses are as follows. We have on February 23rd, Introduction to Invest Atlanta, which is our economic development wing that we work with. That course is on a Thursday night at 6 p.m. as well. We have March 1st, this is actually a Wednesday, Parliamentary Procedures 1, and that's at 6 p.m. March 9th, we are partnering with Atlanta Legal Aid to offer a course about avoiding housing scams and reducing property taxes. You don't want to miss that class. It was really popular last year, and that's March 9th at 6 p.m. And at the end of March, we are actually offering this course for the first time, Building Permits for Beginners. And that's going to be March 30th at 6 p.m. And our actual own Department of Buildings will be teaching that course with us. If you want to register for any of our courses, please join us at www.npuatlanta.org. And if you like to follow us just to keep up with our classes or anything NPU related, you can follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our handle is at NPU Atlanta. And then on the next door, our handle is City of Atlanta Neighborhood Planning Units. And if we don't have any more questions, you all have your night back. So good night, everyone.
night, thank you.
Night.
And you'll be receiving that email with the evaluation immediately following this class.
God bless everybody.
Thank you.